interesting find from Li Feng. Let's go ahead and throw his tweet there up on the screen. So factory farms that are producing pork have hired a Republican PR firm to spin new animal welfare regulations in California as racist, using the disparity fallacy that is popular with liberals. People of color eat pork, so any price increase disproportionately hurts minorities. He links to a story here from Civil Eats, and the backstory here is there's a proposition that passed in California. It's animal welfare. And you might have heard these sort of fear-mongering stories about like, oh my God, there's gonna be no bacon, there's gonna be no pork, or the costs are gonna go through the roof, et cetera, et cetera. All of this, or much of it at least, planted by industry groups that are worried about having to comply with these new animal welfare regulations. And so their newest spin on this, entirely predictable, is to plug into people's genuine concern for equity and racial justice and argue that this animal welfare legislation is racist because minorities disproportionately eat pork, so we can't have any price increases here. And by the way, Civil Eats goes through the purported price increases have been much overstated, by the way, and the producers can certainly adjust to the new regulations if they so choose. They don't have to pass on all the cost to the consumer. And oh, by the way, they don't seem to care so much about racial justice and people mattering and treating people of color well when it comes to their own workforce.
I was going to say, what about their own workforce who are like
disproportionately immigrants, minorities, and who work in these jobs are the most difficult, brutal, dangerous jobs in the entire country. We covered how pork processing plants during coronavirus, I mean, these were hotbeds of illness because they were forced to come into work sick. They fight against minimum wage increases for these people. So please, with the idea that they care at all about people of color in this country.
I know people who've worked on the chicken line and more. It is absolutely
brutal.
not a joke what these people have to go through
Oh, yeah.
for literally nothing, and are treated terribly both by the employers and look, I mean the animals too. I'm going to focus on the people, obviously, but factory farming is a scourge on the country.
Really is.
It's something that we all just overlook because people like cheap meat. But look, and in terms of all of this is all complete BS. I actually do think California should have done a little bit more to address any of the disruptions in the supply chain on the meat, on the price side, just because we already have all these floors, supports, and more for the meat industry. And what these factory farm producers are doing is they're trying to weaponize, again, like you said, people's goodwill towards saying, hey, when stuff goes up at the dinner table, this means maybe less for my kids, this means less of my wallet, this means less of my ability to do this, while also making them necessarily have to choose. And I don't think we should have to choose.
It's a false choice.
Given the amount of price support that we have for these fake industries here in this country, agriculture and more, I think we could find a little bit in order to make the price go down for the actual people having to, buy meat or bacon or whatever. But look, it's the final example of how woke politics is used so effectively by these businesses in order to push it in whichever direction that they want. And, Wall Street, they have some new thing, I think, that's like you can't go public on the NASDAQ unless you have one like female or black or board member or whatever. I'm like, is that going to change the way that they conduct themselves whatsoever whenever it comes to bilking another company or their workforce? No, it's not. Same thing here. They're going to use, and this is the best thing, is these are Republican firms who can see the salience of this and are like, cynical. Oh, we'll just use this and push it out. Cynical. Here's the thing, it could work. And if you actually care about even animal welfare, to me, the actual people who are affected by the price increase, I think they matter above all, then you have to really, call this stuff out whenever you see it. It is just so disgusting. Like, the weaponization of it, but that's what a lot of this has come down to, is that they can use the disparity stuff in order to hijack people's brains and be like, oh God, we have to fight against this. Who benefits, Who benefits? It's the actual factory farmers. They just want to make more money. That's it.
Yeah, they don't want to pay their workers well. They certainly don't want to treat the animals well. They don't care about the people who might have to suffer through a price increase. They don't care about any of it. They just care about their bottom line. And as you point out, the added layer here that it's Republican PR firms just shows you how incredibly cynical all of this ultimately is. So good little find there from Li Feng, showing the way that these people think and operate.
That's right. Thank you, Lee. Appreciate it.
All right, guys, have a good day. We'll have more for you later. Hey guys, thanks so much for watching.
That's right. Just as a reminder, you can become a premium subscriber today. Watch the full show completely uncut, our reactions to each other's monologues. You get to listen to it. You get to ask us questions, all that good stuff. Link is right there in the description or at breakingpoints.com.
Best of all, great way to say screw you to the mainstream media.